everyone, it's Chris, John, and Zack from Two-Ton Gaming, and this podcast is recorded on
April 26th. Yep.
So we're not doing so great on the every week thing.
Woo! Us.
Yeah,
But we're doing one now.
Yes.
This week's podcast, we're the Anvil Drop podcast, presented by Two-Ton Gaming. We lost the right to the other name.
Yeah.
Oh, well. I don't really think it matters.
No.
Screw
So
those
this
guys.
week on the Anvil Drop, we'll be talking about R3's top 10 consoles of all time.
Yes, just the three of us contributed to this list.
This will be our new series. It will be called Two-Ton.
This is not we have a series coming out that is like this.
Like
This is a podcast.
We're thinking about doing a series called Two-Ton Top 10. It's just our top 10 thoughts and lists and stuff like that. So this is our first one that's kind of along that theme. So
Yes.
today we are going to be talking about our top 10 consoles of all time between the three of us. And
So not all of Two-Ton Gaming
Yep.
was involved.
Yeah.
These are our opinions. We wrote down a list. We each wrote a list, compared them, and then made a top 10 out of that. And we each will have an honorable mention.
yes.
Yes.
This is not only an audio podcast, but a video podcast. So if you don't want to listen, you can go to YouTube right now, watch that video, and we'll be Google image searching the things we like.
Yes. So, number 10 on the list is the Xbox 360.
Xbox 360.
Now, this console was both on both your lists, but it was not on mine because I am not a Microsoft person.
Unless it comes to, not even when it comes to PCs, really, until recently.
Well, yeah, no, not really. But even then, I mean, I enjoy using Windows and I enjoy using
Hey, look.
Apple.
Xbox 360 images.
Yeah.
Go Google.
So, why did this make your guys' list?
I was a competitive gamer for Halo. Going pro, I would say. We did have sponsors, but they were local guys, and they only sent us around the Midwest, mostly just Michigan tournaments. So leading from the Xbox to Xbox 360, I transferred from 2 to 3, and
Halo 2 to Halo 3.
yeah, but by that time I was in college in Tennessee.
Right.
So it was more of I was down there. I played a lot with my brother. Halo 3 was great. Mass Effect was great. One of my favorite series.
Yeah.
Just the Arkham series.
Let's go to
Ugh.
top 360 games, because I'm sure there's a bunch on.
I'm just going to go to the ones I mentioned.
Yeah, Halo 3 was huge for me as well. I would go over to... When
I
Halo
had two
3...
separate accounts, Max Level Online.
Halo 3 was when I first moved out on my own with my friend Mark and Drew, and I played Halo 2 at his dad's house a lot, but then we all moved out and I moved in with them, and we all played Halo 3 a lot over at the new house before we got sick of having 10 people living with us at once. So Halo 3 was a big deal for us, along with a lot of the other games.
Well, this is Mass Effect. I think 1, 2, and 3 all came out for 360, and it's probably one of my favorite trilogies ever. I love everything about it. I even like the kind of crappy ending in 3. People complained so much about 3 that they came up with a separate ending. Like, you had to download it and then beat the game to see what it was.
And they're still making 360 games, so...
Yeah.
Destiny was for 360.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just those game titles in the Arkham series.
Minecraft was on 360.
Minecraft for 360 was big. I mean, they're still super far behind, but online, people still stream it. Rooster Teeth guys.
Gears of War.
Gears of fucking War.
And Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
And what was Handsome Jack, that game.
Gears of War.
Oh, well, whatever. You're talking about Borderlands.
Yeah, Borderlands 2. I played a lot of Borderlands 2 on, I think, and original Borderlands on 360.
The storyline for Gears of War is really good too. The
Yeah.
multiplayer I never got into. It was kind of boring.
Yeah, Borderlands is on the PS3 also though.
Yeah.
So that.
But me personally, I just played it on 360.
Yeah,
Gears
but
of War and
was
Halo were
exclusively,
exclusives.
Yeah. So.
Exclusively, I like these games for this system. That's why it made number 10.
Yeah.
All right.
Number 9.
Number 9 is the Sega Genesis.
Sega Genesis. Sega!
Whatever.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that behemoth. That beast of...
Look at that.
That black beauty. Really, is what it is.
Honestly, I got it for this.
Oh.
Everything.
See these games? I've played them.
All of them.
Yeah.
I remember how freaking hard Jurassic Park was. Oh my goodness.
It was really...
And-
You got this for Mortal Kombat. I
Yeah.
guaranteed Mortal Kombat 2
And Sonic.
and Sonic. Oh, and the fucking X-Men?
Yeah.
Come on.
You got it for Sonic, but then you were like, whoa, this system doesn't suck.
Yeah.
This system has more than Sonic. It's kind of like Nintendo. People got Nintendo for Mario, and then they're like, oh, cool. Link, also. There's also cool things. So Sonic,
So
obviously
obviously
huge.
we realize they now are Nintendo.
Right.
Well, yeah.
They've been absolved by Nintendo,
So
but
we got it for Sonic. What other games did we mention?
I
X-Men.
loved X-Men. I loved Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah.
I love all the side-scroller beat-em-up things that you played at the arcade but could have at home on the Sega.
Yeah.
Could you find a clip of the X-Men game on YouTube or something? I just want to hear that music.
Here's a clip.
It's what they all sound like.
Yeah.
Wub wub wub.
So that's what that was like, and
I loved
most
The Lion King too.
Oh my god, the Lion King game.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, yes, please.
Oops.
Videos. Videos.
I'm not doing videos for all of them.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I remember that.
Ha!
Hey, they had solid models back then.
Yeah, man. Mortal Kombat for
Mortal
sure.
Kombat was a great. Just look at this. Look at the character list.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at the realistic people.
Yeah.
There was a cheat code. The game was too violent, so you had to enter the cheat code to get the blood to splatter.
Yeah.
I remember having to do that. That was funny. So for those games we mentioned and many more, just the Sega Genesis was solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just really great memories from our past.
Yeah.
For sure.
One of the best earlier systems.
Number
8 is the NES, the Nintendo
Speaking of.
Entertainment System.
Speaking of great.
No, not the Super Nintendo.
Oh,
The,
oops.
the Nintendo Entertainment System.
That one.
Circa
The brick.
1980 something or other.
Not so much rounded edges like the other things.
Yes, no.
You can get a paper cut from opening that
And
flap.
as Chris was telling me earlier, they branded it an entertainment system because the ColecoVision did so poorly as a video game system.
Yeah, they didn't want to be branded with video game system. They wanted a product to sell. They called it an entertainment system, and it stayed that way until people realized video games are badass.
Indeed. And this...
So this is the fuck... This is a good clip. See this thing? Someone just spent 15 minutes blowing on this bitch.
Yep.
This is clearly Zelda.
Yep.
Clearly
Because
the
it's
best
a
game.
gold case.
Yes.
Gold case. You can see the...
Representative of the fact
Over
that
here.
that game is gold.
Yes.
Yeah. It is a fantastic game.
Yep.
Uh,
You can still
so
play.
if you ever owned a Nintendo in your life, you'd always know how to get your Nintendo to work.
Yep.
The
Everybody's
way to
Nintendo
blow
was
on
different.
it, the way you had to maybe kiss the lip a little bit before you slammed it.
Everybody had their superstition of how to make their game work, and some people were so absurd that they would treat different games differently. Oh no, that game is just finicky. You have to like rub the inside with your pinky. And by these people, I mean me.
Yes.
Me. I did these things.
Yes.
I was like, oh no, the Zelda game you have to blow in, but the Mario game you have to like scrub with Q-tip.
Yeah, this is back when they only had 2 controllers.
Yeah.
There's a prime example right there. So you can see the 2 ports. There's a power button. There's a reset button. You flip this lid up, which was just a shitty thin piece of plastic.
Yep, just a pretend door.
But I still like those remotes, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
I'll still use
AB
the
select start.
They're perfect
D-pad.
size for my hands. They
That's
ain't
all
bad.
you need. That's seriously
A
all
classic controller for sure.
you need. Yeah.
That's a mess, NES. There's another. So that just flips open. Games go in. So the idea was, didn't actually work this way. Push in, push down, and it like locked into place. Oh no. Sometimes with my machine, you had to do what I said. You got to kiss the lip just a little bit, slam that motherfucker, and
Yep.
work every time.
And
Don't
if
do
you,
that.
you press the
never
power
works.
button, it would sometimes just be completely black, or sometimes it would be
Like pixels. of pink.
pixels, or like blue blinking light. There was a whole bunch of
No.
shit that could go wrong.
Honestly, I did this more than any.
Duck Hunt.
I played so much freaking Duck Hunt.
Oh my gosh, Duck Hunt for sure.
And now they're in the new Smash Bros.
Yeah. It was a lot
So
of fun.
this was a dual game.
Yeah, it came as Mario. Yeah,
Right there.
There it is. And
So if you got the package NES, like most people did, you got these 2 games.
In one.
Yep.
and it came with that light gun that actually worked. This thing. They had figured
That's an
out.
advanced one.
Yeah.
That's for the Super Nintendo.
Well, there it is. So this thing was really quite accurate.
Yeah.
It knew where you're facing the TV from.
Yeah.
It knew that.
It was
if
like
you
a
hit or
radar
miss.
gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did a good job. Which had to be one of the first game accessories, I would assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
not the first. That's awesome.
Yeah. Just made it into a chandelier.
Oops.
So yeah.
But then
more games.
obviously the Mario, all 3 Marios.
Yeah.
Mario World. Nope, that's
Super.
nice. Yep. I like 3 then.
Yeah, Mario 3.
Out of this list.
Final Fantasy originated on the NES.
Yes, absolutely.
When people think of Final Fantasy, they're like, yeah, PlayStation 2, Final Fantasy on. No, sir. Final Fantasy was with
I think
Nintendo until 4.
Yeah, the first Final Fantasy was on this, and up until 5 actually. I'm pretty sure that Final Fantasy 5 was on the NES or the Super-
Contra.
Oh, Contra, yeah.
Battletoads. Punch
Battletoads.
Out, a game that I played not all that close ago. So long
Contra
ago.
was for real the shit, by
Yeah.
the way.
I loved Adventure Island.
So many hours with. Who's that company? Who makes this?
Kirby originated on the NES.
The Konami code for Contra just made it.
Konami.
Thank you. Just made it ridiculous.
Up, down, up, down. Right? Something like that.
Up, down,
I
up,
shouldn't-
down, left, right, A, B, start, select. Something like that.
Yeah. I'm a bad
nerd.
nerd. I should know that.
Uh,
DuckTales. Woo!
DuckTales, for real though.
Donkey Kong, Dr. Mario.
Yeah, Dr. Mario, DuckTales. These are classics, guys.
Yeah,
Duck,
for sure.
DuckTales was one of my favorite, seriously, games growing up.
Mega Man and Kirby both originated on the NES. So
Yeah.
games that are still big and revered today.
It's cool that some of these images are the cartridges.
This is where they
You
started.
have to remember that our picture is covering up anything that you have. Yeah, you got to keep it up towards the top of the screen.
This was one of the first consoles that was around when... This was like one of the biggest first consoles when they changed from arcade video games to console video games. And it was one of the first
That had
console
save.
video games that had save states and arcade games on it because it had Pac-Man.
King
on it.
Dedede.
You could get Pac-Man.
He's a bad
on
guy
it.
in this game, isn't he?
Yeah. He normally is.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
go up. Go up more. What's this? Up. That. Right. Yes.
Dude.
Give me that now.
20th anniversary.
I need it
NES.
so bad.
Yeah, well, it's probably only like $400.
Okay. Sold. Sold.
NES, and this is probably because they're in their mid-20s. I'm now in my late 20s. We grew up this was childhood,
Yeah.
or maybe even a little bit earlier than that. I played a lot of Nintendo. My absolute favorite game, no shit, fun story. Me and Zack were in college, and he was like, "Yeah, I got an NES emulator with every game," and I was like, "You fucking got Blades of Steel?" And he's like, "I'm sure I do. I got all of them." And I was like, "Get out of my way." Blades of Steel. Best
Yes.
hockey game for the NES. That's the box cover. Oops. Scroll down a little
This
bit.
was the beginning. And Chris just told me the other day. He's like, "I gotta hankering to play sports game, bro. I gotta do it." And this is where it all started, right here.
This is the fight. Like, you just kind of skate into people and then they get pissed off at you. And there's really no way of blocking. So you just spammed A, B until they died.
Yeah.
Or me and John recently played this together.
Bobble bobble.
Oh, I fucked that up. Whatever, I meant to say bubble bubble.
Bubble bobble. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is a lot of fun.
So basically in this game, you're these little toads people. You shoot out... Oh, there he is. Shoot out these bubbles, and if these bad people get captured with them, they float up and you pop them and you get prizes for it.
And points. It's just like a level. It's just like Pac-Man, almost.
Yeah, but you can actively hurt them always. So this was a huge thing for me.
Yeah.
Hours upon hours, and I still play it to this day.
Yeah.
I love Bubble Bubble.
So, but yeah, NES, where a lot of great things started out for us, especially in our lifetime.
Yeah.
So, number 7.
Is the GameCube.
GameCube. The GameCube. That's
I wonder if
like,
they notice a pattern yet.
yes. You're going to see a lot of Nintendo. But, like we said, Nintendo was the real only way to go when we were first getting into video games.
It was definitely the easiest to convince the parents to buy.
Right.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, it's cheap. Games are cheap. 3 of my friends can play with me.
Most of them are rated E for everyone.
Right.
So this is the standard. What you got originally, you could only get it in this color to start with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they came out with the
the
silver
black
and the
one.
blacks.
Yeah.
And then by the time they were done,
They.
they had everything.
Well, those are like extra.
Yeah, well,
Oh, yeah. But they
if you're willing to put
they
in the time,
over-accessorized this.
Yeah.
This is where, like, accessory craze, I feel like, began.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Like
know,
this.
actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
this was crazy, but Nintendo 64 did it, too.
Yeah.
They had
did.
every
The
single
rumble
color.
packs.
Like, when they first... Like, this... I'll stick to just GameCube, but yeah, they had everything for this. You could put that GameCube adapter or the Game Boy Advance adapter on the bottom.
Yeah, it was basically a Super Game Boy that had a special disc that you could play any Game Boy or Game Boy Advance game on a GameCube using a GameCube controller.
Zack
or
and I would...
you could even hook up a Game Boy
Yeah.
to the system using that silly cable that was there
Yep.
earlier, and you could actually play using your Game Boy as a controller on the GameCube using a television.
Guess you talk about this.
Huh?
Yes.
Yes, that thing.
Zack and I would still, to this day, play
Also,
this
Four
game...
Swords Adventures.
Four Swords.
Uh.
It's so good. Zack and I would still play Four Swords or Crystal Chronicles to this day.
Yes.
With the Game Boy Advance connectors.
Yes,
They're
Crystal
very
Chronicles is seriously one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
They did it right.
fun. Yes, for sure.
It's hands down one of the best games on the GameCube. And I love the multiplayer aspects of it. I love how you can fuse spells just with the timing that you release the buttons. I love the characters and the monster design, and that you can customize everything.
I never actually beat this game with you.
No, but I've beat
It is good. It is fun. I played the beginning like dozens of times.
Oh
It feels
my
like
god.
we just kept restarting the game. We just never we never finished it. but it's a great game.
Yeah. Oh, and
then-
Mario Sunshine. Yes.
This was my shit.
This is what first came out, and I think that this is still one of the strongest Mario games on.
It's where you find out that Peach is actually Bowser's wife. Or Bowser's kids are her kids. That's what you find out.
Whoa.
Oh, that's where in the storyline people say this happened? That happened?
It definitely happened.
Oh.
They came up and said, "Stop hurting our mom."
Well, yeah, but that could just be like Bowser, like fucking brainwashing them, being like, "Yeah, this is your mom, son," because we
Could
have
be,
to...
but Peach
It's
treats
where
them-
that rumor came from, at least, for
It's-
sure.
Yeah.
Peach is just really protective of those kids and the game. Maybe she's protective because of Bowser. I
And
don't
that's
know.
also where Rosalina was introduced.
No, wait, no, that's Mario,
Mario
Galaxy,
Galaxy.
for the Wii.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was there another person in this one? No? There was not another chick?
No, but speaking of Mario games, since we're looking at Sunshine, and I'm probably the only one who cares about this.
Luigi's Mansion. I love that game. I beat it at least 7 times.
That's
Mario
not at all
Baseball.
what I was saying.
Mario Baseball.
But Mario Baseball's good too.
But
All the Mario sports
Baseball,
games.
Yeah, they had this on lock. Boom. Another
Mario
example.
Tennis, done.
Is this one I don't
Yeah.
like?
Yeah.
This is the one that you had to swing with the Wiimote. No, this is GameCube.
No.
No, that's
Bullshit.
GameCube.
I love this one. It's the
Yeah.
other one I don't like. But we're talking about baseball. Because Daisy, you had to have Daisy on your team because she could burst the ball into flowers.
Daisy.
And then they would come back together somewhere. It was like impossible to catch.
Way better version of Peach. Get shit on Peach fans.
Here's even the disc.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is one. Was this the first console that WarioWare was on?
No, I don't think so.
I remember.
Yeah. WarioWare. Wario.
WarioWare.
I don't care. It
Yep.
worked.
Yep. Where you could just get with your friends and do
Oops.
just stupid
Yeah,
shit.
WarioWare Incorporated Mega Party Games. That shit was the best.
Yeah, I think the GameCube one was the best one too, right?
Yeah, I played that one a lot growing up, and that's got the turtle bouncing game, the dance game,
Yes,
Game Boy
yeah.
E-card
This one's
game.
the best one.
That's the one.
This
I
was
always
also
played.
the console that had the best Mario Party games too.
No, best
It had-
Mario Party games were definitely
64.
64.
Hands down.
Hands down.
I think that 4 and 5 were pretty good too.
No, I hated when they introduced the capsule for items. That shit was bullshit. I
Oh.
hated it. You used to get real items back in the day.
Here's Luigi's Mansion.
I love Luigi's Mansion so much. Such a good game. I'd still play it today, trying to get better at it.
Yeah, Luigi's
Trying to get a
Mansion's
better
lot of
score.
fun. And they even have that new one for the 3DS that I'm kind of a fan of.
I never played it, but I should.
Yeah, but Luigi's Mansion is really fun.
Yeah.
And I love all of his facial expressions. He is so animated all the time,
Yeah.
even though he never says a word.
The Zelda games on this one were Wind Waker.
Yes, Wind Waker, which we were talking
And-
about earlier.
Yeah.
What it introduced
Wind Waker
that.
and Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess was this and Wii.
Yeah, but Twilight Princess was fashioned for the Wii. But actually,
This was perfect on the GameCube.
yeah,
This game was so good for the GameCube.
yeah. Wind Waker just knocked it out of the park.
I didn't care for it. That's my own personal opinion. There's the box art for it.
Then that's how that's what people's feelings about Wind Waker. Either they loved it or they hated it.
I didn't mind all of the pastel colors and
People
all
didn't like-
the
We
bubbly
were talking about how
character
they don't
models.
like the sea travel. That didn't bug me at all. I just didn't like the game.
Yeah.
It was
did-
different. It was
did
a
bother me-
departure.
It did bother me that you had to go out and
Pretty
collect all the
sweet
Triforce
controller,
pieces. That
though.
shit was annoying.
That is a sweet controller.
Yeah.
So that's
Okay, so number 6 on the list is the Wii U.
Wii U, our only currently out system that's on our list personally.
Yeah, if you're hoping to see the Xbox One or the PS4, you...
Will not see it on this
Are out of luck. But that's only
That's
because we don't
have one.
own one.
Yeah.
So it could have made the list. This is our personal list, and the ones that made the list are there for the reasons we'll give, but if we haven't played it, we can't say it's number whatever. Because
But we are very
don't know.
eager to, in the future, get our PS4 and Xbox One games up. And that's why you guys are watching right now, to give us the support we need to get there.
Yeah.
So, thanks for that.
For real.
But for now, it is onto the Wii U.
The Wii U.
The Wii U right now, I think, is getting stronger as it goes along.
They've been steadily releasing more games.
Yeah.
Every Nintendo Direct, I'm increasingly more satisfied with what they've come up with. Splatoon is on the cusp now. I'm really excited for that. Really excited for the new Zelda game.
Yes, and the new DLC for Mario Kart is great. We love streaming it. Hopefully you guys like watching it, because that's like the only thing I play right now. It's so good. I just love the shit out of that game. Yeah. And Smash Bros is great. And there's a lot of leagues that are being started for that kind of thing. So I'm really glad that Nintendo's getting into that competitive scene with their games, because I think that's something that they've definitely been missing out on for a long time. Because the competitive scene really started with like Halo.
I don't care. This should make the list regardless, because you play multiple people on one console still.
Yeah.
And that's something that should be.
Yeah, like people can think whatever they want about Nintendo fanboys and stuff like that, but it is
you can have
homegrown,
good
friend, awesome time to play with your friends.
Yeah, it's just.
It's not uber competitive. You're not wanting to kill one another, and you don't have to pay a whole shit ton of money.
But you don't have to buy your own fucking system to play with your friends. That's the thing. Is like, if you want to play a PS4 game or an Xbox One game with your friends, they probably have to own the system and the game to play it with you online.
Right.
And they probably have to have an online subscription that they have to pay for. As opposed to if you have a Wii U, you can just like have all your friends come over and you can play Smash on one system.
Right.
And that's the value.
Yes. Yeah, they have the option of connecting over the internet, and you guys can be on a team or whatnot.
Yeah, you can play online also.
Right. And you don't have to pay extra for it.
Exactly.
I just feel like with Sony and Microsoft and Sony that they're just so money hungry about these things.
And the other thing, too, that they generally have done in the past is keep all of the game on the disc, and they're not as big on DLC, but when they do have DLC, it's stuff like Mewtwo and Lucas that people genuinely want, that they will spend a couple dollars to get.
Right.
And
I feel like people are willing to spend money on those accessories and things like that because they don't have to pay that monthly subscription fee to pay for Sony Online or Xbox Live.
But generally speaking, that they try to put the entire game on the disc so that they don't have to rely on the DLC that comes out later. They can already have a really great experience on disc.
Yeah.
And then that's what they did with Smash. Now they've come out with new characters. And the same with Mario Kart.
Yeah.
They've released a couple new cups here and there.
Yeah.
But they had the full experience ready to go.
And speaking on the new Zelda game, like, because it's going to be a big sandbox game, I'm very curious to see if they're going to really jump ass first into the DLC. Like, can you imagine all the things that they could potentially add to that game? I don't know if they will or not, but they could.
It's like what they've been doing with Hyrule Warriors. They'll just release some extra bit that they can use to, like, fill in some hole that they didn't write in the original game. Mm-hmm. They'll just make some extra area up, just like the Four Sword Dungeon on Link to the Past when they reported it for the Game Boy.
Right.
But I mean, it's just going to be some extra additional thing that won't be part of the main quest. It'll just be backstory or some not prologue, but some extra suffix to, like, cap the game.
So not only speaking of games, but their Netflix service runs really well.
Absolutely. But that's on
better than the Wii's, for sure. They've definitely upped their game because the Wii was not very good.
But the PS3 and the PS4 and all
I'm not saying their services are bad. I'm just commenting that this is exceptionally good. I enjoy their layout and stuff. It doesn't crash or anything, the connectivity, even though you can only go wireless.
Yeah. I mean, it does bother me.
No, we can't only go wireless.
Oh, if you happen to own...
We had a Wii Ethernet adapter for our Wii, and it also works for the Wii U, so we were having connectivity issues, but we just hardlined it, so there's that option too. You can always find those things.
Sure,
they might be a little bit more.
Them.
Yeah, just go on eBay and look for them. people
So
sell.
there's a lot of other reasons. The Messenger's fun. The little me versus fun. The games you came with the system are fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a great group of people.
You could also go to
thing
the
like.
Nintendo Network, get older games.
Right. And I hope that they continue bolstering their library of older games because there's-
Rary.
right.
Yeah, they do have a pretty extensive virtual console library.
Thank you. You can
What did I say?
Barry.
Oh, I just said Barry.
Go to the library.
Library.
Yeah, library. Okay, so
Anyways.
number 5 is the Xbox.
Xbox.
The original Xbox.
Xbox, yes. The original
From
Xbox.
like, what, 2003 or something?
Oh.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
So this is how it looked when it originally came out.
And that control was funky as hell, didn't used to.
People always say, "Oh, I get used to the controller." Never did I have to get used to it.
I think that was probably perfect for your hands because you got these big
I can play
behemoth
with any
hands.
controller.
I like smaller controllers. That's why I still like the NES controller. That thing feels like fits my hand perfectly. The original Xbox controller that it came with was so big. I was like, what are these LR buttons doing all the way fuck back here? But I've had
So like I said, I was semi-pro, I guess, if you want to say that. Halo 1, Halo 2.
yeah. I was very good at Halo 2 as well.
Flipping out. There's just so many combinations. Vehicles were awesome. The maps were awesome.
The cheats were awesome. I didn't use them, but I know people.
Sure you didn't.
No, I didn't know how.
My favorite is an Oddworld series game. And I don't think a lot of people had this. But Oddworld Stranger's Wrath was an awesome game. All your ammunition is living creatures. They all have effects when you shoot them.
Mm-hmm. I'd still like to play this game.
Yeah, I would play this game for sure right now. Like you can see his crossbow. He's got 2 different type of little bug guys. And then, like, this one will be electricity or something, and this one will whatever. I don't remember. Some effect. Just an awesome game. Same world as Abe's Odyssey and stuff, but just a different main character.
What else was on the Xbox? Jeez. I remember I spent many a night in my friends' backyards and tents with absurdly long extension cords that would reach out because, you know, when you're camping in the backyard, you can't just camp. You gotta bring. You gotta. We would have our friends bring over their. I never had an Xbox, so Mark would have his, and then one of the other friends would bring over theirs, and then we would LAN them together, and we would play Xbox or Halo.
Okay.
Between 2 tents.
Yeah.
And there, oh my god, it was just awesome. Such great memories.
This is Doom 3. You're a highly trained elite person, but you can't hold a gun and a flashlight at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Fun-ass game. Stupid mechanic on that.
Yeah. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, you could go online with the Xbox. It was like the easy system all the time to system link, which, once again, isn't really a thing anymore.
Yeah. No, everything's online now, but this was quite simple.
Yeah, you just Ethernet corded together.
Yep.
And then had a 4v4v4v4 or 16 versus everyone.
Dead or alive.
If you're into fighting games.
And then they made the beach volleyball game and
Oh yeah.
what was the game that now has like Link and Yoda that's a fighting game?
That was an exclusive.
Soul
but
Calibur.
You're talking about Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur. It was big on
Yoda was the Xbox
yeah.
360
Battle World.
exclusive.
Yeah.
And that was for Soul Calibur 4 for the PS3 and 360.
I've only got
And then
360.
Darth Vader was the PS3 exclusive. And then you could actually eventually spend like $5 to have Yoda as DLC on the PlayStation Network. Eventually, like months after the game's released, possibly a year.
Yeah, that and the sports titles.
Yeah, the sports titles were great.
I'm not gonna guess years, but there you go. And the Lego games, I bet you were just coming.
The
out
Dungeons and Dragons game. I think that's what that was. But we played so much of that, my friends and I. It was insane.
What's next, bud?
Number 4.
Number 4 is the Game Boy.
The Game Boy.
And looped into the Game Boy is also the Game Boy Color.
Yeah, we wanted to put them kind of in the same category because there weren't that many years in between them. And
so we'll do Game Boy. So this is what a game. Oh, it's.
Yeah, you gotta find a better picture.
Show them the brick. The
What?
thing that you brought to school,
That
also for self-protection.
Yeah.
Not really good pictures, but this big sucker, about
It
the
was
size
like
of your
this,
hand.
this big.
It was a big one.
It was quite large, especially in a child's hands.
And it did not have a backlit screen. It only had 2 buttons. There was a contrast controller, so you could move the contrast up and you could make the whole screen black or the whole screen white.
This
I
didn't
know.
make the list either, and it's not going to make honorable mention, but shout out to the Sega. Sega. Oops.
It's like a Game
But-
Gear.
Yeah, I had a Game Gear.
I loved my Game Boy Pocket.
Yeah, the Game Boy Pocket was released shortly thereafter. It was a tinier version.
I had a tiny
There
little
we go,
Game
Game
Boy
Boy.
Pocket.
And then the Game Boy Colors. I personally had this kind of teal one.
I had the see-through purple one.
I had a see-through green one, I believe. But I loved this because when you played Pokemon
It would
and you
change.
wanted a mystery gift, you had to break out this flimsy-ass cord that never fit in your Game Boy quite right.
But the Game Boy Color,
The Game Boy Color,
they
you had
had
an
infrared.
infrared scanner that you could just hold your Game Boys up, and just remembering it makes me feel very happy inside.
Yeah, no, that
Being on the bus trying to hold your Game Boy Color still enough through the bumpy ass roads to get a mystery gift from some
Search-
kid you didn't actually
search
like.
Game Boy Infrared. Game Boy Color Infrared.
Yeah, I was going for it.
That's it. Yeah, just like that.
Yep. You have to hold your upper left hand screen or top of the side up to another one.
And then
That's
they would
awesome.
communicate without a cable, and that shit was so cool.
Yeah, it was
It was
mind
the
blowing.
first wireless that Game Boy received, and it was so cool.
Yeah, it was mind blowing. So Pokemon, obviously, on the
Pokemon-
Game Boy was huge.
I personally had red. Oops.
I had blue.
Yeah, red and blue.
Or
and
we'll
then
just do
eventually
this.
Gold, Silver,
Yeah,
Crystal.
there's that.
That. Those 6 games
Yeah.
were my childhood.
Pretty
Yeah.
much defining us as nerds.
Yes. Yep.
And,
for Christmas one year,
And Kirby's Dream Land.
Yes, fucking.
for
Kirby.
Christmas one year, my mom and dad both went in on a green see-through Game Boy Color and Pokemon Gold and Silver with the tutorial guide.
It's for the Game Boy. And it's that one there. Kirby's Dream Land.
Oh, I love
I'm
Kirby
looking.
Tilt and Tumble.
Top towards the middle on the right. Kirby's Dream Land. That's it! Oh yeah, that's it. Kirby's Dream Land.
And then the Game Boy Color had Dreamland 2, which is
No,
also.
that's the Game Boy still.
And some of you
Still
would
fun.
argue that this shouldn't be on a console list, but it was a huge part.
Handheld consoles or
We
consoles.
we threw around the thought of putting PCs on there, but that was a little bit too broadening of the spectrum, so we just stuck with.
Mario Golf.
Ah,
Oh yeah,
Fucking come on.
I loved that on all systems.
yeah.
Mario Tennis has always been good on Game Boy.
Rayman
oh yeah,
2.
Rayman. I forgot about that.
The
No,
remakes,
played,
the remakes of the Zelda games
Tennis.
on Game Boy.
No, they
were
weren't
awesome.
remakes. I don't know what you're talking about.
When they would remake.
Oh yeah, the NES Classic remix or
Right,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, the NES.
But then they
Classic.
also had new.
Oracle of
Ninten-
Seasons and Oracle of Ages
Yeah.
for Game Boy Color were the shit. They were awesome.
And 4 swords.
They were. I already talked about this on one of our previous podcasts, but they had a password system that you could link the data from one game into the other game and have a 2-game experience. It would span both cartridges. It was nuts.
But yeah, just endless amounts of games. The Pokemon trading card game.
Wait, scroll.
Played that so
Middle.
much.
Top. That one. Yeah.
And then the blue one was Oracle of Ages.
Yes, Oracle of Seasons, Oracle of Ages. And also for the Game Boy, and then eventually for the Game Boy Color, they did Link's Awakening and Link's Awakening DX. And that was awesome. That was the very first
Super
Game Boy.
good.
Yeah, very first Game Boy port for Zelda. And they really knocked it out. The whole thing...
No crap. I know this is advanced, but I played this game endlessly.
Yeah, we could loop some Game Boy Advance games in here, because I kind of wanted to have Game Boy Advance as one of my honorable mentions.
Alright, well, let's get on with this.
Number 3 is the Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo.
The SNES.
I personally had this as my number 1. So,
Yeah.
I won't fanboy too hard out on this one. But
So as you see, the second generation of SNES, you went from 4 to 2, but you could buy an adapter that fit 4 people.
Yes. And this game, this system, they released the Super Game Boy so that you could play Game Boy games on your Super Nintendo if you wanted to.
Playing
Using a
your
television.
Pokemon game on that thing
Yes.
on the television was the coolest experience of your childhood.
Yeah.
But seriously, this was the first cartridge, like, there wasn't really a secret to smashing your cartridge into this one.
Yeah.
Usually it just worked. This is awesome.
Yeah, they eventually came out with those. But,
Reasons why? I don't know. How about Suikoden?
Suikoden, absolutely.
You could just go on and on about how
There's too many to...
great Final Fantasy games on this.
Yes.
Chrono Trigger, boom.
Chrono
Earthbound,
Trigger,
boom.
I can't type this fast. You need to fucking ease up on the brakes.
Chrono Trigger.
Yes, Chrono Trigger.
One of the best, still heralded as one of the best RPGs of all time.
Yeah, really, really good.
One of the first in-depth RPGs of all time. Has still, like, obviously, it
Pretty
has
sure-
like 12 endings, something like that.
Pretty sure the Dragon Quest series started out on the Super Nintendo.
Yep.
Oh, Dragon Quest, Sun.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't Golden Sun start here?
Golden Sun's on the Game Boy Advance. I wanted to have that as an honorable mention.
Okay, well, we'll get to that.
Ness.
Dragon Sun? Oh, my God. Dragon Quest?
Oh,
maybe?
Dragon Song.
Yeah, there it is.
Yep. Yep. Looks very familiar.
Right, scroll up a little bit and go to the up, left.
Yeah, you see.
No, right, left.
What the fuck, man?
That one. That's what the fights used to look like. I love that. It was such a janky setup, but
It worked perfectly.
Yeah, you never saw your own characters because it was first person, like you were looking at the monsters.
Yep. Lufia and the Fortress of Doom
Oh yes, Lufia.
is my favorite game of all time. I've shown all of my friends it because it's just that good in my
I don't know
opinion.
this one.
L-U-F. You have an F there. Lufia.
Oops.
Lufia.
Oh yeah.
That's the box.
Yeah.
You play as hero of time of sorts.
Classic legit stuff going on there.
Yes. Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And then the Rise of the Sinistrals, which is the second one,
It's the sequel on
which is
Super Nintendo.
it's the sequel, but it is a prequel.
Yeah.
So
But it came out after the
But-
Super Mario World.
Super Mario World
Oh,
was
yes.
amazing.
when you could ride
Bushudo
Yoshi.
Blade. Fuck yeah, Bushudo Blade.
What else?
Everything.
Just so much. The original Mario Kart,
Yeah, the original Mario Kart was on
which
Super
is
Nintendo.
still super hard.
Super Mario Kart.
It's super fucking hard, is what it is.
Yeah, it is.
On the 150, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking of a PS1 game. Oops.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, my fault.
Yeah.
SNES games.
Oh, yeah.
Those-
Super Mario All Stars. Wore that thing out.
Oh, that's hard to read.
Zelda.
Yoshi's
Star
Island.
Fox.
Star Fox. I forgot the original
Super
Star
Scope.
Fox.
Super Scope, where you could have the huge telescope on your fucking shoulder shooting shit.
Yes.
Mario.
Mario
Yoshi's
Kart.
Island. Yoshi's Island.
Yoshi Island was good. Final Fantasy 3.
Mario and the
4.
Seven Stars.
Donkey
Seven
Kong
Stars.
Country.
Yes, Donkey Kong originated.
Secret of Mana.
No, Donkey Kong didn't originate, but Donkey Kong had his own series on this
Start of Mario
console.
Kart.
Yeah.
Start of Mario Kart, start of NES and Earthbound.
Just, oh my goodness. I'm sure we could sit here all day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fucking Porky Pig's Haunted Holiday. So good.
The Looney Tunes game on Super Nintendo. Awesome.
X-Men game on Super Nintendo.
Yup.
Just good, great starts to a lot of different genres from this console.
So, number 2 on our list is the PlayStation 2.
Ooh.
Dun, 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 dun. This was me and Zach's number 1.
Oh, yeah. Both of us rated this as our favorite console.
No,
Or-
you didn't.
Or was both of our
Or
number 2?
It was
PS2.
both of our number 2s. Yeah,
it was
you're right,
both
you're
of
right,
your
you're right.
number 2s. It was
Yeah,
my
yeah.
number 7, but because I...
Yes.
So
Only
there
because
was
I didn't own
2
it.
different kind of PS2s. You started off, you had this little guy.
The ridiculous huge thing.
It was big and it was really this side heavy for some reason.
Yes.
Probably where everything was.
Yeah.
And then they came out with the Slims,
The
which
Slim.
is this one.
That you feel like
and the top just kind of
when you got
went
used
up.
to dealing with your huge ass one and then played with this one, it almost felt like you were gonna crack it under, like just opening up the disk drive.
Yeah.
One
Like
of
you
the-
thought the disk drive was gonna like shatter or something.
This is one of the last systems that came out with memory cards.
Yeah.
I guess you can buy USB things, but I'm talking memory cards specifically for this system.
Well, not specifically, like, the memory cards were required because there wasn't a hard drive on
Yes.
this thing that stored your data. I mean, there
They,
was.
they were needed
Yeah.
to
'Cause-
do multiple saves and multiple games.
Because all of the games were disc-based entirely, and everything was on there. That you didn't have to download system data to your console, but you also couldn't have save files. You had to have the memory card to save your data. Final Fantasy
Still
X.
looks decent.
Final Fantasy X was like my favorite Final Fantasy game. That's the first one I played, and that
This
was-
must have pushed the PlayStation 2 to its
it was
pretty
one
much
of the, it
limits.
came out so quick.
yeah.
It was one of the first ones out. There's your entire team.
Oh yeah.
We got Waka, Lulu, Titus, Aran,
Oh yeah, this was the
Yuna,
first one on
Riku, and
PS2.
Kilmari.
Kimari.
Yeah, fucking all. What I really like about this is you couldn't really have a bad team.
Yeah. And I liked that you could take all of these characters down whichever part of the sphere grid you
Yeah,
wanted.
you could take. But in fact, it was really good if you took him down, not his path,
Yeah.
and you took hers up his. That
Yes.
was a good. Wasn't like the best way, but it was a fun way. She
Yeah.
becomes super powerful.
But basically, the way that all the characters got their upgrades was on this giant grid, and all the characters just had a spot on the grid that you could go to. And so all the characters could eventually go through all of the other characters' portions
Here it is.
on the grid. Yeah, there. And so they all had a different starting location, and
So they all started somewhere on this map.
yes, and they all have certain power-ups that were specific to their
That's
quote
cool.
unquote class. And that's why they didn't have classes. You couldn't like switch their class. To,
I
like,
honestly
Black Mage or
really
whatever.
like that Final Fantasy does something kind of different in every single game.
Here's a
that they
close-up
do.
look. So it wasn't always that blown out. You had to go in and go make decisions real up close and personal. Here's Waka.
Yeah.
Some people will say Waka doesn't belong on a good team, but his Master Ball, or his one that turns people into stone,
Yeah.
forget about it.
I believe they're called celestial weapons or whatever.
Yeah.
They're like the end all be all, the greatest version of
His
every
is hard to
weapon.
get. You have to win the first Blitz Ball game you play by 2.
Yeah.
And your team is terrible.
you have to go
And
through
you
the
can
en-
recruit people for Blitzball.
you had to go through the entire Blitzball campaign in order
Yeah.
to get his ball.
You had to beat the game and then get the... Right?
Yeah.
So, it's an amazing game.
It is. But
Yeah.
it'll take you 80 hours to get everything. Easily over 100.
Yeah.
Because there's so much content, and like the one part getting Lulu's final weapon where you have to dodge lightning 200 consecutive times in the Thunder Plains.
Yeah.
200 consecutive times. that shit is impossible.
Yeah.
I tried. I get like 20, and I was like, no, this is dumb.
Yeah.
So this is one of my favorites for the PS2. I specifically had to go out and get an online adapter so I could play with people online. That ran like a dream. I never had any lag. So in this game, you just kill, if you don't know anything about the Monster Hunter series, you just kill dinosaurs and dragons.
I love Monster Rancher as well.
The Monster Rancher for this series sucked.
This is really big on the 3DS right now, Monster Hunter,
Oh, yeah.
because they've been releasing all those new ports for it.
So the Monster Rancher that came out for... Okay, well, I know what I meant. Was 3, and it was better than the one that came after it, but it wasn't... In comparison to 1 and 2, it wasn't great.
Yeah.
But it was still really fun.
Yeah. What other?
4 came out too. There's one in between 3 and 4 that was awful.
Ratchet and Clank was originated on here, right?
Pretty sure.
Yeah. Yes.
I think
This is,
there's
the
a couple.
this is the original one right there.
So there's plain Ratchet and Clank, and then there is
Maybe that's the original Ratchet and
Up
Clank.
Your Arsenal.
Yeah.
And then
Size
there's
Matters.
Size Matters. So there's actually quite a few on the PS2. Going Commando.
PlayStation 2 started.
Ratchet and Clank 3.
Oh my god, I love Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
It's a great series.
I assume it still had some Spyro and Crash Bandicoot on PS2.
Yeah,
Probably some good games in there.
absolutely. I loved Crash and Spyro.
Enter the Dragon was good. Enter the Dragonfly, rather.
Yeah. This was like,
That was like the end of Spyro.
I swear, like this age of gaming is like the golden age to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of... This is when I started to get real... Well, I don't know. 64 is probably where I started to get real good, but this is where I, like, honed skills.
Yes. All of these games. And Crash Bash
Yeah.
was for the PS1, I believe, but then eventually, like, other Crash games came out for the PS2.
So these ones weren't as good as the PS1.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, PS1 is where Crash really...
I liked Wrath of the Cortex.
It's a good game, but... I don't know.
Yeah.
Then they tried to make it... This was Nintendo's answer to Mario.
Or, you mean Sony's?
Yeah, platform.
Sony's, yes.
Platformers.
Yes.
In my opinion, this is how Sony tried to deal with Mario. They're like, we had our own little guy that came up with Crash Bandicoot. And starting off, his games were really fun because they were made by Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
And then they stopped making the game.
Some really
and they
great
got not
Grand
great.
Theft Auto games were on this system as well.
GTA 3 is on here. San Andreas.
San Andreas and Vice City.
Okami was on this system, too.
Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Kingdom Hearts. Absolutely, that deserves to be mentioned on this list.
Yeah, for sure.
So here's GTA 3, which was so much... I played so many hours of GTA 3.
Jack and Daxter.
I'm not... What was the one we said before that?
Katamari Damacy.
Oh, Katamari.
Yeah. Such a fun game.
Oh, yeah, Kingdom Hearts, yeah.
So since the first one...
I can't
they came out
believe
with Kingdom
the first one
Hearts.
came out in 2002 and the second one came out.
And then they came out with...
2. Oh, no.
2.
Re-Chain of Memories was...
Combines 1, 2, 2.
Well, no. Re-Chain of Memories was actually reported from the Game Boy Advance
Yes.
version. Because they wrote it for the Game Boy... They made it for the Game Boy Advance.
So you could play 1, and then you would play, if you wanted to play them in order, you'd play Rechains, which storyline-based connects the two, kinda. And 2 is also really good, and it's also really challenging.
And then they've been joking about 3 forever.
It's confirmed, not joking anymore.
Yeah, I know, but, you know.
And
they did.
PlayStation 2 is where Guitar Hero and stuff
Yes,
first came out.
Guitar
What was the last
Hero.
game you said?
I can't remember. Katamari?
Katamari.
Yeah. Guitar Hero and also,
I loved Katamari.
Yeah.
The concept of the game is stupid. You start off with a ball like this, and then you roll it into, like, a ball like this.
Yeah.
And then you have to get it to a certain diameter to beat the level.
Oh my god. Also, this reminds me of Mr. Mosquito.
Oh, kinda. Yeah.
You should-
Mr. Mosquito was a game where you literally were a mosquito.
And you'd have to go around stinging people in a house.
Drinking their blood.
Drinking their blood. It was so funny. Such a silly game, though. Like, yeah, that's what it looks like. Seriously, so funny. You just, like, hide around their house and try to sting them. And try to suck their blood. PS2 was...
Silent Hill 2.
Oh, yeah, Silent Hill series was really big on the PS2.
Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry was awesome. I really like the Silent Hill games. I don't even like scary games, but this one was... Those were
pyramid
great.
head things are fucking scary.
Prince of Persia.
So many games is what we're trying to get across.
Yep.
Number one. Before
we do number one,
we should do the honorable mentions.
Yes.
I'll do mine first. My honorable mention is the Sega Dreamcast. And I'm going to tell you a little bit why I spelled Sega wrong. Why it is. It was the last console to offer 4 default features. It was the first system to have online play. Controller, a little wonky, but you could play games from the little screen. Awesome. All awesome. Everything about this game was awesome.
Everything was awesome.
Games including Crazy Taxi with like a crazy awesome playlist. If you've never played Crazy Taxi, you literally pick people up and drop them off. Sounds boring. It's fun as crap. It's so much fun. They still make these games to this day. They're really fun to play arcade style too. God, I could go on for so. Fuck, what are you doing? Let's see if I can just get a big box and see if anything rings a bell. Ooh, that's pretty far away. Let me zoom in. The sports games are okay. Resident Evil 2 on this was kind of meh. Marvel vs. Capcom. Hello. Fucking fantastic on this. Code Veronica was super good. Oh, fucking Phantasy Star Online. Hours upon hours upon hours of this game. Just, it was so good. Power Stone. One of my favorite. And Power Stone 2 is actually, I like that one more. Great fighting games for this system, and they are just literally for the fucking win. This was also Sega's last system, which is disappointing. I thought it was really good. No one else thought so. And they kind of cut their own throat a little bit because you could literally download these games, burn them onto any CD, and play them.
Yeah. But that was like right at the beginning of the internet.
Yeah,
So people were just figuring out how to do that.
Lots of great games. A lot of these games you can get on the Nintendo Network, actually.
So, my honorable mention is the 3DS. Just because it's a pretty solid system, in all honesty. I play it a lot. I play it more than my regular DS. I like all of the... I don't know. I like playing Pokemon. I like playing all the... Because it's much easier to just pick up and put down for like 20 minutes to a half an hour than it is to like sit down and play a console game and get real invested in it. And whenever I play games, especially RPGs, I always have to sit down with like 18 different books open and the internet, and I always have to figure out which weapons I'm going for.
Yeah, like, this is much less of a commitment than Ni no Kuni.
Exactly. This, I can sit down and just play and not worry about it, and then put it down and pick it back up again later. And
yeah, like, it's weird because for some adults, they made this for kids, but for some adults, it's much easier to just play.
Well, not only that, but then on top of that, the gameplay that they give you, even though it's a handheld, like the new Fire Emblem game, Fire Emblem Awakening, is really on point. They did such a beautiful job on every aspect of that game.
And I know that the newest Zelda game on the 3DS.
Oh yeah. A Link Between Worlds.
A Link Between Worlds.
It's really
got
fun.
one of the best ratings that a Zelda game has ever gotten.
Absolutely.
So
and I loved picking it up and putting it down and playing through the entire game.
Right.
And it was a lot of fun. Oh yeah, that Fire Emblem, it's so beautiful. They're coming out with another one. I don't remember what the title of it is, but it's a sequel to Awakening, and I'm just beyond
This is
stoked.
everyone you can have on your team.
Probably.
It's where all the Monster Hunter games originate now, and then they port them to the Wii U.
If they do well, they get a port up.
Yeah, you can get upwards of like 20, 30, sometimes.
In fact, Monster
40
Hunter
people.
4 for the new 3DS
Yep.
is...
They just
We
Yeah.
were just mentioned it. It's fucking huge.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is
it's
a
huge.
sweet looking 3DS.
In fact, whenever I go sit down in my Japanese class before class starts, every kid has got their 3DS out, and it's like, oh, you're playing Pokemon or Monster Hunter, and it's like, that's it.
nice.
Although I have been playing Mario vs. Donkey Kong Tripping Stars. I got that for $20. That's on the Wii U and on the 3DS. Whenever you buy one version of it, it gives you a download code for a free version of the other one.
Cool.
That's cool.
So I've been able to play that at home and on the go, and it's a really fun game. Lots of fun puzzles.
Cool.
I love puzzly stuff. So
And my honorable mention is the Wii, just because I had a lot of great times spent playing with the Wii. The first nunchuck, like the first time you played with that and threw it against your TV, and
Or against Zack's TV.
or against Zack's parents' TV,
Yeah,
whatever.
you know, whatever.
It's a great time. It's just good fun. The
Yeah.
Mario Kart game, I got so freaking good at that.
Mario Kart Wii was really awesome.
Yeah, and then just Super Mario Galaxy,
Mario Galaxy, yeah.
the Paper Mario games were all right.
Well, I was more a fan of them when they first came out.
Yeah,
and even
Thousand Year Door is my favorite.
we forgot to mention the Super Mario and the Legend of the Seven Stars.
On the SNES, I
yeah,
said that.
or Super Mario RPG.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I said
yeah,
that.
Yeah, that game was so good.
Yep.
It was almost better than Paper Mario in my opinion.
Yep. See, all sorts
Yeah.
of good things.
Mario Galaxy was really awesome. I'm trying to think of other games that I regularly enjoyed.
This is one we didn't overly enjoy.
Yeah, no, that one wasn't that.
This
great.
was not a good port up.
No.
You had to swing with your racket and you couldn't control where your character ran.
No.
Yeah. Was not impressed.
But there was plenty of good times on it. Like
Yeah.
I played Wii Fit and Wii Sports, like the bowling. Bowling was the shit when it first
Oh
came
yeah,
out.
and then there was that other one that was like a separate disc. It was like We Play. We Play. Yeah. We Play was awesome. You got
Yeah.
that tank game and you could go around shooting people.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
So anyways, that was mine. And so drum roll, blah blah. Yay.
Yeah, okay. So it's number 1 is N64, the Nintendo 64.
That's right.
And we all pretty much unanimously agreed that this was
It was
definitely
1-1-3.
3.
Yeah, John put it as his third. But still, like, this system was a game changer.
Yeah.
It ruled my adolescent life.
I think you can't talk about this without talking about Mario 64.
Yeah, Mario 64.
Was where
Clay Fighter, 63 and a third. GoldenEye. Like,
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
yeah. Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Mario 64. Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah. The Mario Kart game was great. And Mario Party started on this.
Mario Party!
The arguably best Mario Parties were on this. Conker's Bad Fur Day was and still is a huge cult classic.
It is, in my opinion, the best shooter you can get
Yeah, it's really fun. It's a lot
for
of fun.
this system.
I would still like to play this.
Yeah.
This game is so popular now that it costs like $60 to buy.
My personal favorite.
Is Mario Party 2.
Yes, mine too.
Mario Party 2
is the best.
knocked it out.
Yeah, Mario Party 2 is the best.
The first one was very good, but 2 solidified everything.
The first one had like such bullshit moments.
I
Like
know.
the AI could just screw with
The only
you
thing
so
that
bad
the
on 2.
N64 really failed on was like their sports games were kind of not good.
Yeah,
But
then,
that usually didn't bother you because you were too busy playing Mario Party.
well, then there was 1080
Or Smash
snowboarding.
Bros.
1080 snowboarding was pretty fucking good.
Snowboard Kids
And
was
SSX
awesome.
Tricky was... Wait.
I think it was
Snowboard
PS2.
Kids was awesome.
SS
Oh,
Tricky.
Snowboard Kids.
SS Tricky was PS2, and we should have mentioned it.
Yeah.
But this was like their version of SS Tricky. It wasn't as tricky.
Yeah, but it was still awesome.
Still very.
And Wave Race.
Wave Race was awesome.
It was a lot of fun.
I'm going to go back to Xbox real quick because that made our list. Because I forgot to mention my favorite game on the Xbox, which is Jet Set Radio.
Oh, how dare you.
I fucking love Jet Set Radio. Back to N64.
Okay.
Because it has
Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time.
The best Zelda game of all time.
And Majora's Mask.
And Majora's Mask, which is also up there. And like we said before, it had a lot of connectivity. Or wait, no, the N64 didn't. The GameCube did. But the N64 had amazing Zelda games. It had Pokemon Stadium,
Yes.
where you could transport. You could get Surfing Pikachu. That's the only way you could get Surfing Pikachu legally.
Also, Pokemon Stadium was whenever they released the Doduo Game Boy Tower, where you could play your Pokemon game,
Right.
only other Pokemon games, at double the speed.
Hello, Pokemon Snap.
Pokemon
Oh,
Snap,
yeah.
best times.
The concept when I was a kid, I was like, so what is it? They were like, well, you just go around and take pictures of Pokemon. I was like, well, that sounds fucking boring. And then I played it, and I was like, I can take a better picture. I know I can get a better angle.
Yeah.
I know.
Hey, you Pikachu.
And then all like the
That's a dumb game.
statues
Oh, yeah.
that made shapes of Pokemon.
Pokemon Stadium was just awesome in general. Pokemon Snap was awesome as well, but Pokemon Stadium, just seeing it up on your television screen, these Pokemon light one another up was
Yes.
just cool as hell.
Yeah, it really
And then
was.
going through the Mewtwo Tower, it was very challenging. Like, you didn't play around when you played Pokemon Stadium. You sat down, make a list of what you're going to use, what moves they're going to have, and your strategy.
It's people's other favorite
GoldenEye.
multiplayer, but I didn't really like GoldenEye.
GoldenEye was huge. Huge
I
back then.
mean, I loved GoldenEye. I just didn't like it as much. Like,
Perfect
when I sat
Dark.
down with my friends, I would have rather had played Conkers.
Perfect Dark.
Perfect Dark? Hell, fuck yeah, Perfect Dark. Perfect
Smash
Dark
Bros.
is amazing.
Kirby on the original Smash Bros. Equals broken. What else?
Oh, wasn't there a game on PS2 called Time Splitters or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Brad was really into that game.
Yeah, I just...
Oh. N64 Smash was the beginning of it all.
Yeah, and I got so good at this
That's
game
funny.
at some point that, they would have to...
Look at the character list.
My
Yeah.
friends
Got
would
a
have to
little.
go 2v1 in order to beat me. Yeah, there were only 12 people in this game.
Yeah.
Now there's like 30.
54.
No way.
54.
There's not that many, really?
Look at the list.
That's not all of them.
It's a lot of them.
I think that might be all of them. 7 times... No, that's 6 times...
No,
9.
No, that's a fictional list. Knuckles is on there.
Well, whatever. It's a lot of people.
Anyhow. But yes. So anyhow,
That's our top 10.
Yeah, we did
consoles of all time, top 10.
For us, 3.
it. Yeah, for the three of us.
You disagree? Let us know why. What's your top 10? We're curious to know.
We are.
And if you have any other ideas for us to review top 10s of, we are open to really any ideas. We're probably going to do some hookah top 10s. Probably going to do some everything top 10s. So we'll get with the rest of the 2-Ton Gaming Group, find which people are best at which fortes, and we will make some more lists and do some more game reviews, hookah reviews, all that junk.
So, if you want to check out more of the stuff, you can go to YouTube. Just type in 2-Ton Gaming. Pretty much everything is 2-Ton Gaming except for our Twitter, which is 2-Ton Gaming PC. Check us out on Instagram, Tumblr soon, Facebook. We stream live on Twitch TV all the time. Hit us up, like us, subscribe, follow, all that fun jazz.
Woo!
And when you go to our website, see, 2tongaming.com, if you go to any page, these buttons will be there. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, you just go there. If you want to email us, you can do that. Our Pinterest is actually not Pinterest. It's Instagram. Just so you know.
We were just kidding.
They didn't have an Instagram option, so joke's on them. Once again, we've been Chris.
Zack?
And Jan.
And we are 3 of the 13 2-Ton Gamers. And this has been the Anvil Drop Podcast. Like I said, this is video and audio. Check out both, like them both, love them both. And that'll be it. We'll see you guys next week with a new podcast on something equally as fun as this one.
Yes. Until next time,